let it wash over me. Happy Friday, everyone. And you know what we do on Fridays? We welcome tonight's guests. This Texan just tested positive for barbecue sauce. Co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend, Will Kane. This pyro lights a fire in my heart. Co-host of Fox and Friends First, Todd Pyro. She's like a bass drum. She's like a bass drum.
It's like, what's
Makes a lot of noise and gets hit on by marching bands. Fox News contributor Cat Tim. And his forearms are the size of 4 arms. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. All right. Now, before we get to some news stories, it's Friday, so let's do this.
Greg's Leftovers.
It's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. And as always, it's my first time reading these, so if they suck, I don't care. Here we go. In an interview this week, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie said he's considering running in 2024. The bad news, he means for president. Wow, you could see that one coming. Much like him. Because he's big. The nice way of saying fat. Plus size. A study from the American Society for Microbiology finds that New York City rats can carry the COVID-19 virus, which is in addition to rabies, herpes, and switchblade knives. An avid marathon runner admitted to pooping her pants because she didn't want to stop while running a personal best time. It's the most inspirational case of someone pooping their pants on the job since the inauguration. We have no proof of that. You guys love a good joke. In a tense meeting, 2 female Florida school board members clashed over the definition of the word woman. And after hours of arguing over who said what, they realized it's probably us. I can see that one coming. A new study predicts that the world population could peak at 8.5 billion people by the year 2050. Said one man, "Hey, if you need help with overpopulation, let me know." Intel Corp co-founder Gordon Moore passed away last Friday at the age of 94. Doctors pulled the plug and then waited 5 minutes before plugging him back in again. Yeah, I think he invented Moore's Law. I don't know. A new virtual reality death simulator lets users experience what it's like to feel their lives slipping away. Users report this image as the last thing they see. Plus. The View co-host Anna Navarro says she's upset 24 hours a day for having to live in Florida. Not because of the policies of Governor Ron DeSantis, but because Chick-fil-A is only open till 10. Doctors in Nepal say they had to perform surgery on a man who got a water glass stuck in his rectum after a drunken night out. The good news is he made it back to Nepal just fine. That was unfair. Yes.
Keeping it on me a little too long, director.
And finally, President Biden's approval rating has tumbled to just 40%. So to give his numbers a boost, he asked Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg to indict him. All right. Now, the news. Obviously, the bombshell case that could have unprecedented ramifications for decades to come. The legal victory for Gwyneth Paltrow in her Utah ski collision lawsuit. We go live to constitutional scholar and Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley in outer space. Jonathan, what's your take on Paltrow winning? Jonathan, can you hear me? Seems to be in there. I guess our deep space technology isn't ready yet. Guess we'll do a different story. Poor Jonathan. But he played along, so who cares? All right, the indictment. Trump's attorney says he'll face 34 counts of business fraud. Sources tell Fox Digital he'll surrender next week. Alvin Bragg was so elated he released a few extra convicted killers to celebrate. But Trump is ready to fight.
He's ready to fight. You know, he's the toughest guy I know. I've never been more angry about a charge because today the rule of law in the United States of America died.
It's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead. While former human being Nancy Pelosi tweeted this nonsense, no doubt from an old BlackBerry in her skeletal hands, quote, "No one is above the law and everyone has the right to a trial to prove innocence. Hopefully the former president will peacefully respect the system which grants him that right." Well, actually, you corrupt old bat, it's not on Trump to prove his innocence in our legal system. It's on prosecutors to prove guilt. But that may not apply to show trials like this or to comments from a woman who was born before the Magna Carta. I wonder what old Joe thinks about this.
Oh, no. Look. I gotta keep saying it. I believe in the rule of thumb, right? The rule of thumb. I mean, the thumb of law. The rule of law. Come on. And it's like Nancy Pelosi said. You're guilty until proven innocent, all right? That's the way our country works. And so this guy's got plenty of time to prove he's innocent before he's president again. No, he's not president again. I'm president again. I'm president now, right? Yeah, I'm president now. So what are we talking about here?
Meantime, Trump put out a very Trumpy statement. Quote, "The Democrats have lied, cheated, stolen in their obsession with trying to get Trump. We're going to throw every last one of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again." Now, as for Stormy Daniels, which is not her real name, by the way, since the news broke, she's making a killing selling Team Stormy merch, calendars, T-shirts, and lingerie. And as a bonus, each item comes in a free bag you can put over her head. I mean, let's be honest. So what's this all mean? Well, Bragg vowed he would do this if elected, so it's pure politics. But he has no idea, really, what he just did. He's like a suicide bomber who just blew up his own party, and that party is the poor Democrats. Of course, the media is giddy, and why wouldn't they be? They're dumb who always miss the big picture. They've been hunting the same people for years, from parents at school boards to Trump supporters to anyone with a traditional pronoun. Hell, Karine Jean-Pierre declared that transgender people are under attack just days after a transgender shooter massacred kids at a Christian school. What's that tell you? That they really, really don't like you. And it's no longer a left versus right thing anymore. It's inside versus out. The elites versus the outsiders. They look down on people like you, people like Trump. But don't get mad. It's not worth it. Just get your angry butterflies into formation. After all, we can't run around with our hair on fire. You'll end up looking like this. Well, glad to see that we're all dressed the same, like vacationing real estate agents. Very strange. Anyway, do you agree that this is a political persecution? Do you have any new thoughts on this matter?
Wow, that's a challenge. Any new thoughts? Because everyone said everything
Exactly.
to almost say about this.
Yeah.
I think that maybe the most useful thing to do is step outside of ourselves here and hear it from the other side. And what they're saying is, quote unquote, no one is above the law.
Right.
What they fail to recognize is that Alvin Bragg is the one beyond the law. Mm-hmm. This is a misdemeanor charge. Its statute of limitations expired 2 years ago, so therefore it has other motivations. But I think the most important new thing to your challenge, Greg, is that by Nancy Pelosi. I think it's easy to laugh it away as the statement of an old lady. but it's not. I think it's the philosophical underpinning of not just the last 5 to 6 years, which is get Trump, he's guilty, find the evidence later, but it is how they view the justice system, guilty until proven innocent.
Todd, you were actually a lawyer.
Well, so was Will.
Oh, that's right.
Not real estate agents.
Now the outfits make sense.
We've got a bar meeting after this.
You look like two lawyers at a bar at the Ritz-Carlton after a convention, and your wedding rings are missing. Right? I nailed it, Kat. Anyway, they pile on these 34 counts. We don't know what's in the indictment. That's Tuesday, so it's hard to make conjecture on this stuff. Is it possible they just charge him for like every ledger entry? Like everything that's it, like, oh, that's one, that's two, like, and it's all just one thing, or
That's
what?
what's being reported, that it is all these different repayments. But you touched upon the law part of it, and I think that's what's so upsetting. To me, this isn't about Trump. This is about the rule of law. And when Will and I went to law school, it wasn't that long ago, but it was probably around 20 years ago. We were in there with liberal, conservative, all matter of individuals. And there was one common unifying theme. We all believed in the law and what it could do. We knew the law wasn't perfect, but we all believed that this was the American system and it was better than any other. I'd like to go to bed tonight and say that that is the case, but if we're in a world where political prosecutions are allowed to go forward and potentially lead to a victory for Alvin Bragg, that is extremely concerning. And I know Trump loves to throw that line out there, if they can come for me, they can come for you. That's real. We have to remember, he was a president, and look what they're doing.
That's true. I'd like to go to bed with Halle Berry. Cyrus, the last time we had a political witch hunt, it was the impeachment, and COVID just kind of had a 2 or 3 month head start. And I'm thinking about this week, and we have all of these like techno nerds telling us to worry about AI.
Right.
And instead, our entire media has to focus on this thing. And I have a feeling that our robot overlords are smiling.
I mean, dying. They got me. I mean, the one good thing is, I guess we're not seeing the face of the shooter.
Yeah.
So I guess that's nice.
Yeah, that's true.
We stopped that little party. But, you know, for me, this just reaffirms my vote. Like, I'm for certain now that President Trump was the 3rd black president.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. And here's my case. He's got baby mamas.
Yeah.
Check. The DA's always with him. And they're arresting him for that happened 2 years ago, past the statute of limitation. So take the orange hair, get some cornrows.
That's why.
My brother.
Do you think it will add to his street cred if he demands
Oh,
handcuffs?
his street cred is beautiful. Like he's gonna have to be giving out. I'm gonna free chains like this at Trump Tower. His street game is strong.
Should he do a presser on so it's Tuesday? They're gonna walk him in. Should he actually do just stop and do a presser?
He should do a presser. The man ain't got nothing on me. Fight the power.
Do the fist in the air?
Yeah, I mean, he should do the whole thing.
Yeah, amazing. So, Kat, we talked about this last night. It's been 24 hours. Any new thoughts, insights? Do you think people are going crazy over this, or not crazy enough?
Well, I think that obviously on this channel, there's a lot of people saying this is political, but I think the best arguments proving that it's political is all the other channels and everybody else. Because anybody who's saying they're so glad to see this happen, they're not focused on this exact indictment or this exact issue. They always say, oh, because Trump is, January 6th, or Trump is a liar, or Trump is this, and Trump is that, which none of that really has anything to do in the eyes of the law with this specific issue. None of them are focusing on this specific issue, except for maybe Stormy, which is personal for her, and I can understand that. But I just think to deny that it's political is political. Because this is an untested legal theory. It's a coincidence they're trying it on this guy.
Yeah.
You're admitting that there's all these things you hate about him, and that's why they're trying it on this guy. So, I mean, I just think that's just a fact.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing is a consistent pattern in targeting people. It's so funny, too, I know we got to go, but to see that two this week, you saw Matt Taibbi, who's on the left, and Trump, who's on the right, being targeted by the same engine.
Yes.
And it just shows you it is not left versus right necessarily. It is inside versus outside, the establishment versus the renegade. And I know my renegades.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.